Hey guys, my name is Cityyak and welcome back to another episode of Dead End here in City Skylines. Well, last episode guys, we built our very own theme park within Las Vegas. I asked you guys to give me some pretty sweet name suggestions for what we could potentially rename it. I also built a city park too. We're going to be naming them guys, and we are also going to be building and expanding into a new area, a new region, to build the foundations of a brand new town. Now guys, if you are enjoying Dead End and want to see more, then please make sure you smash that like button down below. If you're new around here, then make sure you do subscribe so you are notified when that next episode does come out. But we are back right now, and we are back with a bang. Now that's what we done last episode guys. Our beautiful little theme park right now with a roller coaster way too close to that runway. But we have skilled pilots landing at the Dead End International Airport, so I think we'll be okay. Maybe. Probably not. We'll soon find out. And we also built our beautiful little city park too, which has really helped us in terms of connecting up this side of Las Vegas right now. And over here too, so making it very, very walkable for a lot of these peeps. And, you know, just get a couple of extra pennies as well. It's quite a tourist trap, this is. Now, actually, you guys give me some pretty sweet name suggestions of what we could potentially call these two parks. And it was pretty much unanimous with where we could kind of go with it. We got the Las Vegas Fun. Funland as in one, yeah, we'll go with two words. Funland, the Las Vegas Funland right now, and the Funland Adventure Park. And for Elm Gardens, because it's kind of like the north side of it, we're going to call it North Park. There we go. I don't know if that's quite north in that kind of sense, but appreciate it, guys. Thank you very, very, very much. Now, before we go into building our new town, a lot of you guys want me to build the Hollywood sign for Las Vegas up in the mountains, which I think will be a really, really cool idea. So before we do that then, guys, we are finally going to get connected this train line up to here. Reason for it is I want to build a brand new town around here. Now we'll come back to that because we've got to build the Las Vegas sign. It's going to be beautiful. Now if I can remember correctly, these letters, they have to be attached to a road, which is kind of annoying. So what we're going to do, we're going to get a dirt road all set up, and I do want it on this kind of edging. I do want it up here. So what I'll have to do is we'll kind of have to try our best to get a road in. Like that. And we'll work with it. So we just got to spell Las Vegas first. We've got to spell the word Las Vegas. So. Oh, it has to be on that side of the road as well. Ah. Right, okay, so L. O. That's not an S. So you spelt Lou. You've spelt Lou. S. Right, where's the W? W. A. Where are you? All the way at the start. A. I can put the E there just because we're there. G. Las Vegas. S. How does that look? Las Vegas. It's quite a distance away. I do need to bring it a bit closer to the edge of the cliff. But Las Vegas, boys. We got Las Vegas on the scene. Right, okay. So let me kind of select all this. And slightly bring it closer to the edge. Now at this point here, I'm going to bring in a bit and kind of bend it a bit more. I'll bend this further out to then that point going over there to then bend you. And we've got this little sheer drop edge. It's quite scary, isn't it? It's a shame it doesn't render from such a far distance. You kind of have to get a little bit closer. But we have Las Vegas all up and running. Now these do require, if I can remember correctly, did they require water and stuff like that? I believe they did. I will eventually get that all connected up to the rest of the kind of area so people actually go up there. I might even turn it into a little bit of a national park of some sort so they can walk across the mountaintops. What a view, eh? What a view. I don't know if I would ever even add stuff to this, little trails up or whatnot, but it is quite high, isn't it? But it's a shame it just doesn't render from so far. But there we go, boys. The big sign of lost wages right now. Lost wages. Anyway, let's take a look at this area right now. So I want to build a small little town over here, which you can be hooked up and be the final ending to that train line. Might even go a bit further, I don't know. But what I'm also thinking as well, down here, maybe kind of creating some kind of type of little fishing community that has access to the good water. You know, there's a little running stream here. So does that change in terms of what type of fish around here? Look at this. We got a little bit of anchovies. We got salmon, shellfish, tuna. It's all within this one vicinity. But to be able to build a small little town over there, it has to be running and connecting off the town further up here. Now, I don't really know too much of how I'm going to build a town here right now because it is currently surrounded by, you know, what I would consider the highway roads. So, do I incorporate these two little roundabouts like dead center to the town and then build the town slightly around it? It won't be a huge town, don't get me wrong. It's not going to be a huge town right now. Or do I try and combine these as one big interchange and then get the rest of the road all set up? It's a bit of a difficult one, isn't it? It is. So if I just quickly pause it for right now, and you know what we'll do? We'll delete everything and build it all up ourselves. Alright, so hasta la vista to all of you guys right now. And then we'll get all these to kind of meet in the middle. So in reality, we kind of wanting to get these connected. Now, do I just get them connected by basically via one big roundabout? I mean, there are multiple routes coming in multiple directions. Or do I do the logical thing in terms of maybe... It's actually a bit of a tough one, isn't it? Like the approach I could go, because that is a big, chunky, bulky 4-lane road. But it kind of needs to be with where it's kind of slightly heading in. So, let's get this up and running then. 4-lane road. Now, if I delete to there, so that this is somewhat running straight. So if I bring that straight up to here, you know, we got, like I said, we got that kind of like a straight road. But then I also want to incorporate these two guys coming in right now. So if I brought that down, that would run to there, and obviously then we've got where the connection would take place. So you would then start to think a big roundabout wouldn't go amiss. But I've also got to incorporate this road as well. Damn. So many roads. Now, what if I incorporated this road into here? And then would I be so foolish to bulk that up as a big 4-lane road? Probably not the best idea. So what I'll do instead, I'll bring that back. And I'll actually swap it over for something like this. Delete you to there. Delete all the way across. And then what we'll do, we'll create a nice little connection from there to there. Bam, bam. Nothing jazzy, nothing fancy, just your bog standard connections, boy. Your bog standard connections. And for some reason, this has decided it's time to fly. There we go. So that merged into there then, and that little extra lane on both sides, is this connected into this? Would that be a good idea? What if they want to go in the opposite direction? See, that's where it kind of then throws us all off. It really does. So if I use this road as being like an overpass, and then that's where the bulkiness of the road starts, could be a good shout. Unless I delete down to here. And instead, because I don't feel like a 4-lane road going all the way around makes much sense for us. So unfortunately, probably doesn't make a lot of sense of how it's going to be working, and the lane maps are completely out. But I don't feel like a 4-lane road going all the way down, like I said, makes sense. It's a weird one. So what I'll then do is we'll create a little crossing over on a bridge. And then we probably do I do a roundabout around that bridge, or I want to create a crossing similar to that would probably be the better idea. But I need to create first the roundabout. So if I pull out here, because the roundabout will also allow us to be the connection for the little town anyway. There, we're going to go up by 60. I'm hoping that it shouldn't be too much traffic, but drop you in here. So if I delete you there, then we want that road to kind of come into there and then pass through, but it will also have an overpass for the highway. It's just deciding on what side of the road I want the overpass on, and it'd probably be the better idea to do it this way. So with us elevated up then by 8. Get you into there. If I anarchy that, just to get it connected. 13. Standardized connection. Now granted, they are all over the place. The elevations do change and all that kind of good stuff. So we're going to make use of that. And if I pick, I'm on the flatten tool. Right, we're going to kind of slightly bulk out, but then frail. Oh, undo that one. Then frail away quite largely on these areas. And then we're going to change how the road reacts to it all. But if I keep that flat, then we can work from it. Now, granted, I have created like a sheer drop for this area. So I'm going to have to now work in terms of really starting to wind it down. And a nice gradient. I'll keep the roundabout like that anyway. Close all that up there. There we go, which means I can bring this out a bit more. Flatten that a bit more. Go for a larger brush size. Smoothing it all off. There we go. So it becomes a little bit more useful, is probably the better term. So, let me check my terrain levels again. So we are sinking down. That's how it is. We're just now going to quickly sort out the alignments. So from, let's say, you down to you, we will slope that a bit better. From you to a bit further up to there, slope that a little bit better. I'm thinking, yeah, we need to bring this up a lot higher here, don't we? So I'll use this point here. Do you know what I should actually do? Is, wait, does that tool allow me to create a straight circle mode? Align them all straight. Let me find out. Oh, what have I done? No. It's not what I thought it was going to be. But if I select all these to that point, and then if I align the objects at that height. Oh wow, okay. I didn't realise we were that high in the sky. Well, if I bring this to about here and then align them again, there we go, more of a gradual incline. If I go down to here, there we go. So we got the height set up there, which should be pretty good for us. We can then play around with a lot of this good stuff. So it slopes quite nice as the gradient decreases. Very good. A bit of a bump there. Let me see if I can sort that bump out. Alright, that should work. The only problem is that there. Delete you. There's not one on that side. Okay, we're all good. So we've got the roundabout then. The road elevates up, and we'll sort out the padding right now of the edge of the hill. So I just kind of bulk that down a bit there. Do the same just on this side. So we're kind of grading up to it. And then we'll have the entry, well, we'll then be able to build the entry points to our little town. So obviously, we're going to have, where's the road? I need this skinnier version of the road here. We'll come out by 10 and do a 10 there. On this side, do a 10 there. And then we want these roads to simply, that road and that road to connect up to them. So we'll create our little connections now. To there, to there. And we'll go on a big radius so we can really utilize the bend aspect of it. Now it's all elevated. Don't really want that, but what we got on here, that's on normal. Bam! We'll go with that. So it's all elevated to go in a slope anyway, so that's kind of all cool. It's just I don't want it to. But that's where the handiness of the terraining mod comes in. So we go a bit bigger then, so we can do a larger surface area. There, and just over here too. Great stuff. So we've got to get these now connected, and then I can build my town. The cool thing is, I can just build little turn-offs. Again, we're not going to really have too much traffic, so at least we got like a decent-sized junction anyway. So what I'll do first, and what we'll work with first, then, is the turn-offs for these points before we do the simple little V. So if I go from here, bring it down to 10. Then on this side, from here, bring it down to 10. So what's that away from this? That is literally cannot see a damn thing. 9. So if I did that here, that's not going to be 9. 8. So 10. 10. Now we've got the sizings all perfect. So straight in on both sides. Glorious. And then obviously flip around the ones that I need to. And then run these in. So a 9 by a 9. A 9 by a 9. So identical. It's as if it was made to be so perfect. It's weird, isn't it? So then this, if I bring it a bit, so that's a full 10 off. So if I bring it by 5, and then we'll do a 7, we'll do a 7, but obviously we flip this one round here. So again, that should be a 10, which it is. 5, we'll do a 7 by a 7, but obviously we gotta, oh no, that's already perfect. Nice. So there we go. Standard, simple, yet should be really effective in everything that we need it to do. Could help us with a little bit more alignment. I see how it looks by sloping it down from here. So from there to there, if I added that in. Right, yeah, it could work. So from there, oh, cancel that. From there to there. And then do the same just here. Just might as well just get it all in, even if it only changes like ever so slightly. Brush size is down, just kind of smoothing some more edges off. Let's make it look a little bit more as it's part of the natural landscape. Now, do I elevate the last little bit here? Because once I got this in, we can then start building our little town. Why not? Why not? So back into play mode then. Might take a while for them to figure out what has just literally happened. Gotta set the roundabout up correctly as well. Bam, there we go. That should now be ready to rock and roll. But it should be a lot more effective and useful to getting in here, which should be pretty sweet. So we have the railway line on this side of the road. I might have to, I mean, that means I have to bring it all the way down like this. Or do I put it on the inside? It depends where I'm going to start building the town. I think we'll try and incorporate it around this junction quite a bit. But we do need to first create our turn off to this town. Now, what I could do is I could bring it off, let's say, this road here. But the highway is going to be the busiest road no matter what, because it's got all the through traffic going through. I could build our first little turn off here. You know, the road leading down to the prison. It's the last piece of civilization the prisoners see before they're you know, incarcerated for years to come. And then I can maybe do a bridge over and build it over here. Road coming off there, over here, bridge over. But try and keep the traffic, the turn-offs on the main drag of highway. That might be a better option for us. Might not be the right option, but that's how it's going to work in this town nonetheless. So bring it out here. And again, where do we start slowly going up soon anyway. But if I bring it up by 20, and then we're going to go for a nice 20 by 20 bend. And then kind of bring it out by another 20. And that becomes the main drag of road through the town. Until we kind of pop it up and over. So if I bring it down by, let's do another 10. And then this 10 we pop it up by 8. Over by 10. Down by 8 to 0. 10 straight. And then we're up to this point. And then what I could do here is do a 10 by 10 bend there. To push it in this direction by 30. And then how are we looking here? Where was that snap? It was a 6 by 6. And bam, in. Now we have a ring road. Right? Now we low-key have a little bit of a ring road for this area. I can do the same thing again. Popping up this way and maybe snapping into there or bridging over. But we'll keep it on just here for now. Now I want to bring that train line in. And the train line can be the heart of the community because it's like the main use of getting anywhere within the region. And so we've got to figure out what type of train line we want to utilize. I'm going to play around now with the elevation changes of this bridge. So maybe bringing that down because it's slightly in a ditch as it is. So it hasn't got to be too much. So we can use the standard stuff, but recently with my other series that I've started, I got the content creator pack where we got a bunch of different options of train lines and whatnot. I don't know if any of these will be useful or handy. They might be a little bit too big for us. The elevated train station. Would that be a bit too much is the answer. Elevated dual platform train station. I mean, it could be good though, couldn't it? I got the elevated bypass train station. See, elevated could be good because it's coming off the mountain. You know what I mean with that? You see where I'm going with that? So, let's just say I came off... Well, let me go across here. So that is 30. So if I came down here by 30 and just go across by 20 just for a quick second. See, that could go here if I then... Could this be the home of the hub? If, for example, I pull it like that. It's elevated. It is trains, right? Let me just double check it is a train line. Because that'll be... Well, it's going glowing orange.
Train line straight across. Yes. Yes, boys. So if I delete you right now, because you are technically, in terms of the road, you are technically 30 down. Now, it's not to say that I'm going to be able to do another 30 down this way, but if I came off this here by... Actually, let me come off by 30 going that way, because that would be like a straight connection there. But what we'll do is we'll do a 10... Oh, it's gonna be cutting it close, isn't it? What if I start it from here? A 10 by 10, but at this moment here, it's elevated up by 8, and then a 10 by 10, a 10 by 10. I'm just trying something, is what I'm trying to do. A little wiggle over. Is that a little bit too much down to the fact of how the road passes over the highway? See, I'm not feeling it. I'll be honest with you. Not feeling that. But what we could be feeling is the full 20 here. So if I come out to there. And then we bridge this one up a little bit early by the 8. And that will be... So I'm really wanting it to kind of snap just there. Oh, I'm keeping it elevated, but then bring it down just here. But we just got to sort those elevation changes out. So maybe if I... Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Elevate you up as well. So you, and you. If I made you the same object height... Oh. Of you. Now, granted, it doesn't need to be that high, but that's when I can use the little bit of magic. So go bam. To there. And then elevate it down. So we got a more direct route to go over to kind of get to this community side of it, as well as the main ring road that kind of goes around. So it just enables access... Easier access for these guys. I could, to be honest with you, also as well sink it down. I could have sunk it under the road, which, to be honest with you, the way that kind of nah, actually I won't, because I can also then kind of do like little stuffs going around. To be honest with you, if I did sink it, I can then still utilize the train line going up and over. Right, okay, guys. Please have a little bit of patience with me right now, because I'm going to sink it instead. Right, okay, so if I select you... Right, actually, if I just select the bits that are going to be near the actual road here, and then bring them under, which means I'm going to elevate this little strip here. Oh, wrong button. That little strip there. And then the rest is history. So from there to there, we bring it up and over. From there to there. Right, that works. And then it means I can then... The train line can continue. Then it makes me want to do it on this one as well. Do you know what? To be honest with you, it doesn't feel right having bridges. It just doesn't, does it? Right, bring them under. Elevate up and over right now this road. And then you. Oh, to you. You. Should I take it that far with the... Oh, no. No. What have I done? I can't even undo it. What have I done? I had it all selected again, didn't I? Oh, he do be so foolish. He do be so foolish. Right, there we go. Let's try that one again, guys. And this time, make sure I deselect other stuff that I'm doing. So there, enter. Right, deselect, because I didn't deselect before. Let's go to here. There we go. Beautiful. Nice. See, that's better. That feels a lot better than what we had before, right? It does. So that's now all connected. There we go. We've got some underpasses on the go. The highway works beautiful. This will be kind of nice and sweet and connected. Train line is all in, which is going to be easily walkable for many of the areas. So now we're just going to kind of build a little bit more up on this area. So, you know, I can have a road where it kind of just goes to there, and that's like where the cul-de-sac kind of brings it out to. If I cut up here by 10, and then 10, and then we're going to do our little 10 by 10 to follow the bend of that road. Here, another 10 by 10. And this all kind of frails out to these ends. Yeah, I'll do that one by 15. Actually, cancel that. I don't think it will work if I did something like this. Nah, it's a bit too close, isn't it? A bit too close for comfort. So that would all work. That's not a problem. Now, I think this will be a sharper bend. I was just kind of staring at it, and if I kind of did a 5 by 5 and then a 5 by 5 bend. There we go. Just pushes in a bit more. And we'll bring you down. Now we'll go this way because the road is sinking down that way, so I think it's more effective to push down that way. $10 by 10. Is that too close, you reckon? You reckon they're too close to the little highway road? Nah, it should be fine. It should be fine, boys. Right, let's do this side then. So pretty much more the same. A 10 and a 10. And right, what we're saying, if it was to connect up to there, it's a 20. So another 10. And then 10. As if like it looked like it used to connect, but then they knocked it down. The government bought land so they can build the highway that tears through it all. Another connection just there. And then straight down to there. Just incorporate more of it. So that will be a good little start then. We'll kind of frail it up a bit more here as well. Pump it down that direction. Down to here. We'll pop up. Well, we'll try and pop up. Get that 10 in. Just down to here. And then we'll run a couple off this way. Do about 15. And then obviously we'll finish this little section off here. Now that is the full 20 going across that way. I'm going to do a 10 and do it like a nice little 10 by 10 bend. And there we go. We have the outline of our little town. Now I do want to get the train line connected up right now. We'll get that all done. It should be very walkable. I might create a little bus route anyway. But I'll do the kind of the paths in just a second. But I've got to bring this line now down. Now, because we're kind of staggering down the staircases, I think it'll be easy to just kind of go over it. But where would this eventually connect as a flat? I mean, at that point there, you're borderline we're on the ground. So if I bring this, let's say over to here, but I'm elevating it up, That's how high the elevation's got to be kind of in line. But it ain't going to work like that. We kind of know it's not going to work like that. So if I bring it up by 20, and I'll try and align that moving down. No, it's way too high. 20 is way too high. Right, I'll go up by... I even think 10's too high, to be honest with you. Right, if I come down by 8 just there... And... Because going straight, that's great and all, but it is one hell of a drop. So I'm going to have to follow the terrain, really, aren't I? Alright, 20 by 20 bend. Let's go for a 10. Nah. We'll curve this. We'll curve it while also trying to bring it down. Alright, I'm going to bring it down to 2 at this point. So we're not quite... I mean, look at that drop. Can a train make it up that seriously? Could an actual train make it up that? My answer is probably no. But we'll see what happens if I can align it all in just a moment. So 23. 21. 22. I'll go 22 by 23. Fine. Okay. This is going to be the interesting point right now. Is it possible to align this whole train line? Now if I went to there, you ready? So it changes the elevation of it. And now we can then kind of see as it progresses down how the natural elevation change would work, and then we'll work the terrain to the rest of it. So we'll first start here then. And obviously, you know, look at it. It's ridiculous. It's sunk in a bit more. We'll have to push the... Well, it changes as it goes up, doesn't it? So there's not really a lot we could do. I mean, what would have made it... I'll undo all that. What would have made it a bit more easier for us is if it was clipped to sink in just on that bit. Because then we can do more with the land. Right? See, that doesn't look too bad right now. This mental, right? But I think what it needs is a point taken, for example, there, and then drop down. Okay, drop down at that moment. Then the train line all sunken down at that moment, and then from that point there, let me get out of underground mode. There we go. So from there, select every node. Oh no, I'm doing it the wrong way. It's this one I want to work with. So from there, so let's say there, enter, which drops it all down, which will then give the ability to create this as a bridge. So elevate up. Just like that. So yes, I do have to kind of sink this all down, don't get me wrong. But I can then do the same to the road to somewhat borderline bring it in alignment with the train line. So if I went to there, to then here, and then did the same thing, slightly brings it down, then they don't look as silly together. They don't look as stupid then. and now it looks like it's meant to be. Right? It looks like it's all meant to be. So I won't get too carried away with, you know, the train line and whatnot. But now we've got to get these all connected up. So take it to the same height there. If I bring it out to about here. And just run it down there. So I can sort out how this wants to bend. So in reality, if I bring this up, by plus 20, and then if I delete, bam, bam, to there, what? Because I can align this again, like I just did earlier. So looking at a 30 by 30 connection. Now it does bend slightly out. There we go. So yeah, mental. You ain't got to tell your boy twice. It's a mental connection. But we might just pull it off. So like that. And then because of how it's set up, that bends that way, that bends that way. It's like it was meant to be. So, go again with this. And I'm going to pick this point there to this point here. Do the same thing. How does that look? So, more realistic of an elevation change. And then more of the same again. I'll pause it. Now, some bits need to be attached to the ground for it to kind of sink in a bit more. Now, that feels a bit more normal, doesn't it? That feels really high. It always has done. There's no need for it to be high. Which by lowering all of this makes these slopes so much more nicer. Same over here. There we go. So we're not going into too much on all of that. You know, we can kind of clip that back a bit more. The whole thing could come down a lot more anyway. It really could. But I don't want to get carried away too much again. But bring all this down on this side. Now the train line is now connected. It goes over there with decent heights. Everything's all intertwined. Just going to drop a few more trees around there. Just to bulk it all up. Because we kind of moved it over a bit more. Train line is now technically connected. It is now technically connected. Right, these always annoy me, these little changes here. We've got to do one more. Just there. But yeah, it is what it is. The trains can now pretty much run back and forth. So, big infrastructure all thrown in. Should work out. What I need you guys to do in the comment section down below right now is give me a name for this little town. There we go. Which I think will kind of start moving people in the next episode. But I need a nice little name for it. It's the last bit of civilization people see before being sent to prison for a gazillion years. Train line should work out pretty well for us. Got to bring all the goods over here. Got to get train lines all hooked up. But I'm liking how it all kind of snakes. That's what I like the most about this. It kind of just snakes around. And if I bring that brush strength right down, dig in certain areas, smooth them. And it doesn't look like it's all not meant to be a part of it. There we go. It was a beautiful landscape before man came along. So what would happen is, in terms of public transport right now, we got this blue link, it goes to flood. That starts its life all the way over in sandstone industry. I think I'll reduce that where it ends in flood, ends in drought. And then we have a new line going from there to flood down to our new little town over here. So everything is all switching over in the big grand interchange right now. That's probably what we'll get set up with it. So yeah, will be very interesting. Very interesting to find out how this progresses. But it could lead on to a nice little fishing town in the future. That's the good thing about it. So, we will end it for here right now, guys. I hope you did enjoy this episode. If you did, smash that like button down below. But until next time, I'll see you all soon. So good.